I completely overlooked this the first time around. Weapon damage additionally scales with 35% curse. So basically the more curses we have, the stronger we get. And the more curses we have, the more cursed enemies appear and therefore more curses. And that sounds like the kind of hilarity I could get behind. So our damage is just going to scale. At the end of every wave, we're going to lose a little bit of range and experience gain. Luckily, I'm already quite experienced at this game, so the experience thing shouldn't matter. Plus, I've got the advantage of too much time on my hands, so I can just force it till it works. 5% attack speed, plus another SMG. You know what, let's make that 3 SMGs, you can never have too many, and we're going to lock a 4th one. We're also going to lock a sharp bullet, so we're going to have piercing already. So this is actually just a really overpowered start no matter what character we're using. But we need to be especially excited to see the purple outlined enemies. They're the cursed ones that we need to murder at all costs. If they're not glowing purple, they don't deserve my attention. A couple of rerolls left us with mostly garbage. We'll take a little bit of speed. That way we can carry ourselves to the enemies. We're going to take the SMG. We're going to leave piercing locked. We're going to reroll and lock another SMG. I know we lose range after every round, but when we stack up a bunch of SMGs, we actually gain range anyway, up to plus 50. And eventually we'll have so many upgrades that it won't matter. And if we get fast enough, we can just carry ourselves right to the enemies. We don't need range if we can just move ourselves to them. We'll be faster than the bullets. Got an item drop there, and hopefully with all the curses we get, we start getting a lot of cursed items as well, because they can be stupidly strong. This one's fine. 10% damage against enemies above 75% health. That means the first hit is strong. Crit chance? Sure. 6 max HP, also important. So there's our SMG, there's our piercing. We are going to lock a actually, we're just going to take the corrupted shard. That gave us an extra curse. So we've already got 7 curse. So enemies have a 6.1% chance of being cursed, and items have a 2% chance. So that's like 1 in 16 enemies are going to be cursed, and the more we kill, the more that's going to appear, till one day there's 100% cursed enemies. And already we're seeing quite a few. There's some kind of loot bug. I think that gives us an extra curse. Basically, just buy SMGs and all your problems will be solved. There's another one of those, so we're now doing 20% damage to enemies above 75% HP. We're going to go for attack speed. There's a cursed SMG. Perfect. We're going to take another curse and 3% damage. We're up to 12 curse, so there's a 10% chance. So 1 in 10 enemies is going to be cursed. Gummy Berserker is also important. That's going to add some range if the game keeps taking away attack speed. We're going to lose armor. We don't need armor. Armor's for people that plan on getting hit. We don't plan on getting hit ever. There's another curse bug, so our curse is going up quite rapidly at this point. We are going to need a little more damage because the enemies, this is only wave 5 and they're lasting just a little bit longer than I would like them to. We should be able to calm that down with just a little bit of range to damage. Even if we had only a few damage to that, that would be big. Head injury. We get extra damage, we lose range. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. And 8% damage. I want just straight ranged damage if I can get it. Looks like we might not be able to get it, so we'll settle for 10% attack speed. Because eventually we might not use SMGs, so we'll be prepared for anything. This also leveled up, lots of range, lots of attack speed, and again, we don't need armor. A few rerolls later, Peacock is actually something we need because that's going to give permanent experience gain and next wave huge experience gain. The downside to this character is they perpetually lose experience gained. Every wave it gets lower and lower. But we get richer and richer anyway, so money kind of overtakes what experience does. And kind of like in real life, you don't need experience if you have money. And you should always listen to me. I embarrass myself on the internet for a living. There's so much stuff on the ground, I want to pick it all up all at once. I need the instant attract thing. For now, we'll just settle for murdering everything. $214. There's more, I don't really want to lose any more range at this point. That's the wrong kind of damage. That's the wrong, we'll take 1. Though these are up to 11 damage already with the curse being at 13 and those are only level 1s. So we'll take the Peacock for extra experience gain. Tempted to take the baby squid, but I'm not going to. I also need to remember that I already have a fish hook, so if we leave something locked for 1 in 3 chance of becoming cursed, therefore stronger. So I'm going to do that to my SMG and the Triangle of Power. These can all get stronger. We're investing in the future, and the musical idiots are starting on this wave. Damage feels a little better now that I added a little bit more. Plus all the curse damage. That definitely doesn't hurt. I wonder if there's a maximum amount of curse you can get, or if it just goes infinitely. Eventually we'll hit 100% cursed enemies spawning. Presumably that doesn't cap. That was definitely a little bit of a stronger enemy. He was even wearing a hat. He was definitely cursed, but the more cursed enemies we get, definitely the harder things are going to get. I will take 3 armor because we are planning on getting hit just a little bit at this point. Max HP also, I do need some kind of toughness. That did get cursed. 28% damage, which actually wasn't much, but 5 curse, absolutely. We're at 27 curse, so enemies have almost a 1 in 5 chance. The SMG I'm just going to buy because, yeah, I suspect it was going to combine with my already cursed one anyway. This will get better if it gets cursed as well. I do want the Ugly Tooth. Hitting an enemy removes 5% of the speed, max 20. That's good for bosses. Bosses can be really annoying to navigate around, so if we could knock off 20% of their speed, that makes it a lot easier for me. In a perfect world, I would just melt the bosses instantly with damage, but we have big dreams, we're not necessarily going to accomplish them. There's so many cursed enemies now. By the time we hit wave 20, it's probably going to be pure curses. We'll check in on the SMG damage here and there to see what kind of damage we're doing, but for right now, it feels more than adequate. Wave 8 went down, no problem at all. $230 in the bank. I'm going to take another 15% attack speed. Range damage just does not want to show up. Nothing here got cursed. Coupon. I want to lock the coupon because if we could double that, 10% off items would be huge. SMG makes 2 SMGs. We'll just straight up take the 10% attack speed at this point. 50% chance for loot aliens to appear. Yes, they move quicker, but you know what? I feel confident I can catch them. So we're starting to get bigger enemies. That was definitely cursed, and there's definitely a lot more cursed enemies showing up again. The small ones are going down without much of a fight. Our SMGs are hitting pretty routinely for 20 to 25 damage, and they obviously fire quite quickly. This is a good wave. It's just pretty much a confidence booster. It gives you all sorts of resources so you can cruise on along. That was a loot monster. He was very quick, but he ran straight toward me into a hail of 1,000,000 bullets per second. So he was quicker, but he was also quite stupid. So many cursed monsters. A landmine spawns every 12 seconds, dealing 10, yep. Range and instantly attacked items, yep. Range damage, yes. Then there's another 3 range damage on top of that. That puts us up to now a total of 6 extra ranged damage. So our blue SMG is up to 33. But I'm also going to buy this cursed tier 2 SMG. So that's going to give us a tier 3 at 39. There's a regular tier 3 once we combine those two. So as soon as that gets out of the way, we now have 2 tier 3s, 2 tier 2s, and 2 tier 1s. A cursed spyglass. Lots of range. 42% off reroll price. That's huge. I will reroll a lot. We also want this. We need experience gain. We also need a tier 2 SMG. We'll take that right away. We're going to lock those two. So our damage that round, this went up by a lot. And that's good because we're starting to get enemies with armor. Thanks for extra damage, we seem to be able to just melt them anyway. So far, so good. This will inevitably drift the other direction, but this is great. Just the more cursed enemies we kill, the more damage we get. So at least now, at all times, there is at least 1, if not 5, cursed enemies on the screen. And that's just fun. It's like a game. Kill the purple idiot. Our range is down to only 7, so we're actually going to put some of that back on. So now we're up to 52. There's another scar for 37% experience gain. Yes. There's almost a 1 in 4 chance of enemies becoming cursed. Even the items now have a 7% chance. I did not expect to find a minigun so early, but I'm going to lock that because I want that to be cursed. We've locked it and we'll hopefully get a cursed minigun. Okay, that was the elite that showed up on this wave. We get a tier 4 item out of that. That's going to be huge for us. Now we're going to go back to murdering. 1 in 4 idiots are cursed. Under this heat, genocide continues at a rapid rate. This is only wave 11. So I believe our damage scales, so we get 35% curse. So if we get 100 curse, that should be an extra 35 damage if I'm understanding that correctly. So it's just a matter of getting quick firing weapons then, because we can add a lot of damage. We just need that fire rate. And that's definitely why I'm glad we're getting the minigun already. Hopefully it's cursed after this round, but it can only take no more than, say, 4 rounds for it to be cursed. 1 max HP when picking up a consumable at full health. That's actually a good one because that will scale forever. It's tempting to take the max HP, but we're going to have lots of that soon, so we're going to take 10% speed. Minigun didn't upgrade, but we get 9% off items. So minigun got cheaper. Our rerolls are also cheap. So we're going to do a few more rerolls. There's a sunken bell. Once per wave, you explode for 272 damage. The calculation is there. When you fall below 40% health, that's fine, but the 4 curse is more so what I'm after. So our big SMG is up to 44 damage now. And it fires 10 times a second, so obviously it's putting out a great deal of DPS. And we have 6 SMGs, 2 of which are still basic quality, but not for much longer. Pretty sure the only difference between a gray SMG and a red SMG at this point is just the damage. The fire rate is still about 10 times per second. But the damage is what matters, and they're all doing plenty. I definitely do want to try and get to 100% cursed enemies spawning, because our damage can just scale infinitely at that point. More enemies that spawn, the stronger we're going to get. I need to remember to pick up the cactus fruits too to boost our HP up. I'm so used to not caring about those that I don't pick them up out of habit, but we can get 8 max HP per wave, which is absolutely insane. I'm going to add a bit more range back again. One of the downsides to this, obviously, is range. Minigun still not cursed. This SMG is, so we'll take that. We'll take XP gain now. We don't need to curse that. No, there's another 10% range and 25% reroll price. And we'll reroll maybe... Ooh, that's fun. Range damage, explosion. Yes. Then we're going to wait because I still want my minigun. By the time we get to the boss, we might be doing some pretty serious damage at this rate. It's already getting up there. If we get a tier 4 minigun or 6, that would also help. I love all of these new characters. There's so many stupid fun builds we can still do with them all. I just killed a loot monster. We have 50% more of them spawning, and we've seen 2 so far. So those haven't made a huge effect yet, but if we get more of those items, we might have like all loot monsters spawning. 55 HP, so we're building some toughness as well. Everything's dead. I sort of like this. +1 material when you kill a cursed enemy. Yep, there's lots of those going around. More enemies means more cursed enemies. They have more damage and health, but I mean, we're probably fine. 15% attack speed, +2 ranged damage. Can you curse already? We've been waiting forever on that. Well, I'm going to take the explosive turret. Spawns a turret that shoots explosive bullets, dealing 28 damage. We'll reroll. I do want this. Armor and dodge. Yes. And we'll reroll once or twice, probably saving our money. We will buy a basic SMG. All right, wave 14. Definitely stronger than ever before. We're going to get a lot more enemies spawning, but that's good. More enemies, more cursed. And also a lot more resources. We unfortunately have to save the good old-fashioned way by picking stuff up off the ground. We can't use the piggy bank and interest because the game can give us that because the game doesn't like us. I definitely just had a seal thing, walrus walk over me, took off 12 HP. So that's a good reminder to not let that happen often. And also to keep picking up items on the ground. We need more HP. Okay, we're back at max HP, so I gotta pick up more cactus fruits on the ground. Max HP at 52 is not good enough. Once we fight the bosses, they will absolutely shred us apart. Can definitely feel the extra enemies though, which may be good, may be bad. We definitely want the XP gain. We will take some armor. 29% less damage. We now take 35%. That was okay. The minigun might just never be cursed, so I'm tired of waiting for it. We have a minigun now. It does 39 damage and it fires every 0.057 seconds. I will also take 20% experience gain just to try and keep that up a little bit. There's another fish hook. So locked items have a 20% chance to become cursed. That only turns to 28 if it was cursed itself. So that still gives us a massive big chance. This one's also good. 4 armor, 11 dodge. All right, now back to work. But now we also have a minigun employed for us. So we're putting a lot of high damage bullets out there. The musical idiots are definitely around right now, but wave 15 is pretty easy so far. I do like the minigun. It would be fun to get more new weapons, but we'll just keep an eye out for anything fast firing because we can just simply add damage. Well, we are adding damage. Every time we kill a cursed enemy, our damage goes up. And we're killing a lot, and there's a lot more to be killed. Things are hurting us though, like they can definitely hit us and do some damage, so we gotta be really, really careful not to let that happen too much. Here's another cursed. 50% experience gain, 140 next wave. Enemies do extra damage, we get an extra 4 curses. Our curse is up to 78 right now. I will take extra attack speed. It's not going to make a huge effect on our weapons, but it will make a effect. And if we want to switch weapons, attack speed is important. Well, there's another 2-2 SMG. So I'm going to combine 2 of these. So we have a curse tier 4 that does 76 damage. And it's still firing 11 times per second. I wanted to do that because we're going to buy another tier 2. I just wanted to make sure we wound up with a cursed tier 4. Our dodge is currently 14. I'm going to lose 1 armor. We suddenly have a lot of armor, and we're going to gain lots of dodge, 3 more curses. So we're getting a lot of extra damage, and enemies have a 1 in 3% chance to spawn cursed. Items have 10%. And our weapons are getting all sorts of fun colors to them. I also picked up an item that makes more trees spawn, so hopefully we get lots of those because we need our max HP to go up a lot. Not finding a lot of cactus fruits on the ground this wave, but that's not a huge deal. I don't think we're going to get hit by much. This wave's pretty easy for our build. We just fire lots of bullets at them and they die. This would also be fun with the ghost item. I can't remember which one it is, but that increases your attack speed because you would just get endlessly more damage and attack speed. All right, for these, we'll just take 3 ranged damage. You just can't have too much of that. 9% dodge, or dodge is up to almost 40% already. I will take this one. We might actually let that curse itself. 5% item price. Yep, that's fine. I want that one to be cursed. How quick are you? Not super quick. This one I like, and it's cursed. You have a 50% chance to explode for 1300 damage when you get hit. Yes, and that added lots of curse. So up to 115 of that. So our SMG is up to almost 100 damage. The minigun is at 65. There's another SMG, so there we go. We now have tier 3 weapons with the exception of 2 that are tier 2. I suspect that's good enough for a kill. Yeah, at least so far, it is only wave 17, but it is absolutely destroying everything. Our HP is up to 88 suddenly as well, so we're really starting to pull forward. It would be nice to find a silver bullet or whatever the item is that does extra damage to bosses, because the bosses are coming up quick, and it's just nice to get them out of the way fast. The final few seconds of the wave, so I'm just trying to massacre everything I can. $600. We'll take a little more armor. Damage is going to come naturally, so we definitely need damage reduction and dodge. That didn't curse, so we're going to wait for 2 curse, the blunderbuss. I do think I want to take at least 1 blunderbuss because we have the room for it anyway, but cooldowns are set when you pick up a material. Huge damage, and we pick up a lot of materials. Projectiles pass through 1 additional target. If we let that curse, actually, does that make it 2? I hope it does. Okay, I'm not going to reroll anymore. That's getting expensive. Wave 18. So for those enemies, maybe with a little more HP, the blunderbuss can definitely do some damage as well. Not sure if that's going to be as good as the SMGs, but we got 5 of those anyway. Well, 4 SMGs plus a minigun. Enemies are definitely getting stronger again, though. They're not instantly dying, at least the cursed ones with the helmet on, but they are pretty tough. The enemies that shoot bullets in all directions are kind of my mortal enemy. They're just so annoying. I need my health to stay at max, and they're getting in the way of that. 9% speed. I'm going to take this. I want some luck, because our luck sucks. And that's going to help us in some ways. Luck and harvesting. This is better. Armor and dodge. Oh, and another tier 3 SMG. So now we have 2 tier 4 SMGs. These are up to 114 damage now. The minigun's at 75. Blunderbuss, 241. Wave 19. Yeah, the enemies are definitely eating some bullets now. We're still killing them fairly easily, but they're able to absorb some damage. It'll be interesting to see where we're at in comparison to the boss. Managing to pick up lots of cactuses this round somehow. There's a lot of projectiles and idiots coming at me, but our HP is going up. We finally hit triple digits there, 100 HP. We got lots of dodge. I'm kind of glad for that bullet penetration right now. Hordes of enemies. I forgot we had 10% more enemies too, so that would explain why we're seeing so many. Okay, if we take this, we're at basically max dodge. This thing finally leveled up. Not sure it was worth the wait until now, but well, there we go. We got it. I'm also going to take the exoskeleton, armor and crit chance and speed. That's an easy choice. There's a curse triangle of power that's going to give us 40% damage, 5 curse, and also blunderbuss, so we'll get a level 4 blunderbuss. For now, it's boss time. Okay, I think I found where the boss is. It's the one firing on the bullets at us. I can't see its health currently. It's dead. Okay, so our damage is pretty good. And that's without bonus boss damage or anything. We straight up just melted that thing. So pretty good build so far. Other than that, we just ride out the rest of this very long wave by trying to stay at max health and picking up health things. Nothing can stop us now. We're also going to get another explosive turret. This one's already done 17,000 damage. That's a good one. So we get an extra pierce. We lose some damage. We'll get 20% attack speed. 9% speed. We're actually really, really quick. So triangle of power. There's an extra 40% damage. Another blunderbuss. So that's now doing 453 as a tier 4. We get an extra pierce. The crystal, 8% attack speed. 2% attack speed every second until the end of the wave unless we take damage. And I definitely want glass cannon. 25% damage. We only lose 3 armor. We still have 57% less damage. Oh, so the minigun is up to 121 damage. The SMG is up to 164. Plus we get an elite this wave. Okay, I found the elite. The elite is dead. I think there might be a second elite. The second elite is dead. Also, we have about a 40% chance currently of enemies being cursed and about a 12% chance of items. I already thought it would be more by now, but at least we're killing so many cursed enemies that that number is going to go up and up and up. I suppose our curses only go up though when the cursed loot monster thing shows up, not necessarily regular monsters. But that's okay because it's very easy to stack curses no matter what we're doing. Burning deals an additional 10% of current enemy HP as damage, 1% for bosses. Yes, if you manage to get this little bit of fire going, that would be excellent. Our crit chance is only 8%, so it's now 15%. That we can live with. Well, there's another fish hook. That will be 3 out of 3 of those. I'm pretty sure that automatically does not get cursed. But now we have a higher chance of getting cursed stuff. So now when I lock this minigun, it's got a very high chance of becoming cursed next round. And then we can combine it with our other one so we can get a tier 4 minigun finally. We're up to 132 HP. That's just steadily going up. I think at the end of the wave when we absorb everything, that's when we're getting our bonuses anyway. This is all going great though. We absolutely destroyed that. Plus 8% damage, special enemies appear. Yes. I didn't realize our range actually got into the minus, so we're going to turn that back up. Our minigun did get cursed, so it's 144 compared to our 128 base one. That also had a lot of curse, but now it's up to 180. It's doing a ton of damage and it fires very quick. Well, there's another tier 3, so we are now having the... Maybe we want a curse version of that. No, we'll just go ahead and buy that one. Oh, this is going to add 116% attack speed next round as well. We're going to lose some range. That's probably fine. Oh, that's probably also going to get cursed after this wave too. So that's going to add a ton of attack speed. and we already have plenty of that. After that, we're going to add some luck and dodge. Dodge is more than max, I think, at this point. This did get, so we're going to get 260% attack speed and 9 extra curses. So our minigun's cooldown is now 0.042 seconds. Even our SMGs are at 0.055. There is also an anchor. It's only tier 3, but it does 1,000 damage. So I'm maybe going to get rid of one of my SMGs at this point, and we're going to try an anchor. That just does a lot of damage. I think to things up close to us, but that kind of is going to act like a guard for us. Any enemies get close and they're getting anchored. I don't know if the anchor is actually doing anything. I don't know if we're getting close enough. Our range is probably somewhat limited right now, but it didn't seem to matter. Well, there's also an obliterator, which does 942 damage at this point, because it goes off of range and our curse. It's 0.7 second cooldown. I'm going to sacrifice one of my tier 4 SMGs for that. Every time I see an obliterator, I just can't help myself. We're also going to freeze the poisonous tonic, because that's going to give all sorts of good stuff. We're getting very quick too. We got all sorts of weapons doing all sorts of things now as well. We got quick firing weapons, slower firing weapons, but they all have the same common interest of lots of damage. Jumping ahead to the end of wave 27, we're getting a lot of cursed enemies. It feels like it's probably more than half have to be cursed at this point. It's still only a 41% chance, so that's got to be diminishing returns. I decided to run into a horde of idiots, and that was the end of me on wave 28. Definitely could have pushed it further. But we did unlock a barnacle, 35% stats gained from level up upgrades, and +1 curse when you level up. Welcome.